Howdy. I got one card. Let me go grab it. 1 second. Okay. This card is sitting in my room. It's been a minute. I will shuffle right here on cam so you can see. It's really important that you see that the readings are in the moment. So, some readers have it all set up and it's really nice. And I do want to do readings like that someday, but it's real important to me that people see that I'm just raw and in the moment right now when I do these. Thank you all for being here. Internet seems to be doing okay right now. Don't want to jinx that or anything. All right, I'm going to shuffle one more time. Your confidence will lead you to success. I invoke the that thou wilt send Haru, the great angel that is set over the operations of this great wisdom, to lay his hand invisibly on these consecrated cards of art, that thereby we may obtain true knowledge of hidden things, to the glory of thine ineffable name. Amen. Well, that's weird. That's the card that I didn't mean to flip it over, first of all. I never do that. But then this is the card that I just brought back in that was sitting on my desk that I had separate. This card right here. This, I don't know. I shuffled 4 times. It just, okay, fine. Art. I'll just go ahead and show you now. This is what I keep on my desk where I work when I make art. And I usually have that with me before I start the video. I had to go grab it. And yeah, I guess consistent, persistent, will not let you do anything else except realize what's trying to harmonize. But we'll get into that in a moment. Okay, let's do it. Card 1, the querent and the nature of the problem and primary influences. This is a dominant individual or a dominant influence in your situation, okay? You're in the pressure cooker. That's what Paul from Dove and Serpent Tarot likes to say about this card. You're in the pressure cooker. I mean, come on. There's so much being done right now, and it's real important. I'm hoping we see a 6 of Swords to accompany, because it's very important that you're zooming out and you're making sure that you're doing things in the way that is energetically sound right now, because you are in the pressure cooker. You're making You're making structural changes. You're making art. You're making art with your life, but you're making structural changes through this in this way that's like, it's like art, okay? It's not like art, it is art, but you're making these structural changes right now that are changing everything. That's a lot of pressure. It's very important that you take time to remain calm and do things in a way that feels balanced and like you're not overwhelmed, right? Let's move. Cards 2 and 3 in conjunction with card 1 are the key cards describing the nature of the situation and the personality of the querent. And you're in go mode. You're in go mode. I mean, like, the 3 of discs is Mars in Capricorn. 3 of earth. And then we have the fire here. Fire and earth. The best combination. Not only do you have the energy, but you have the resources. You have the energy and the resources right now to do what you're trying to do. That's why it feels like so much pressure, because you have the confidence, the energy, and the resources to deal with what is in front of you. You literally have it. And you had to get here because there have been times where you haven't been as strong as you are right now, but right now you're strong. But you need to be careful that you don't rush. You must be careful that you are gentle with this process, that you do not rush, that you are not too headstrong. There can be a natural tendency to simply be too strong in the accumulation and then in the resharing of one's own resources. Like you are trying to accumulate more resources and then meeting people and attempting to do so, perhaps you come off too strong. You see what I'm saying? That's what these cards say. And that's okay. You know what? I do that. We need to learn how to temper that. We must learn how to temper the motivational force. And I think we're doing well at it, but we really do need to, it's not about removing negative things that you're doing. What art really emphasizes is about adding values. It's about adding activities, adding values that give you an outlet for expression, because expression is the opposite of repression. Art is expression. Art is the opposite of repression. Repression leads to sickness. Repression leads to stagnation. Repression leads to trauma being accumulated in the body and never released. It leads to the mind ever circling in the same things and never learning and never growing. It's repression. It's repressed. It's oppression at a certain point. Now we have expression. Expression, not repression. So when you feel your body, what I'm getting all of a sudden, when you feel your body needing something, you need to ask yourself, am I repressing or am I expressing? Because we cope in different ways. We use different things to cope. We cope with different vices. We cope by doing different behaviors. We cope with certain friends. You need to ask yourself, am I doing repression or am I doing expression? Because if repression is what you're doing, then you are committing essentially the only sin in Thelema. The only sin is restriction. The key to joy is disobedience of this repression. Please disobey said repression. It's coming in. It's coming in. I don't know. It's there so that your works can be stable. There needs to be stability. There's stability that's forming. This is the waters. These are the waters of all creation. And then this is the substance that's rising out of the waters. And it's the 3 wheels. It's 3 wheels. Like it's moving the waters. Isn't that fantastic? Your works float upon the field of all creation, and they are physical things. It's important that you take the time to create them properly. Now, Cards 13, 9, 5, 4, 8, and 12 in the upper left and upper right indicate two potentials for the future. They may complement each other, in which case the cards on the upper left are a development of the story on the upper right. If they are in conflict, the cards on the upper right may be considered the direction your life will naturally flow unless action is taken to change the course, in which this would be the alternative action. So let us see if the cards on the top row are in complementary or if they are in conflict. I would say that they're in conflict. This is the direction that things will, this is the direction that things want to go if they don't end up in this direction. Okay, so let's read that way. Thank you for bearing with me. It takes me a moment. Over here we have lust, the Tower, and the Five of Pentacles. I don't know what you've gotten into, but it's something that never gets enough. It never gets enough of what it can do. This lust, when you're ruled by lust, you don't respect yourself. The Tower is here to communicate this. If lust was here, it would be a bit different. But because lust is here and the worry is here, I'm reading this very severely. I'm not reading this like lust always is a good force. But we need to read this accurately. And to me, this is communicating through my intuition and several other things, something very clear that I need to speak on, which is that when an individual is ruled by lust for sex, lust for food, lust for smoke, lust for being lazy, lust for sleep, lust for more money, lust for, anything. When you have lust, when you are ruled by it, though, because lust is an important force to have in our lives. It's really boring without lust. We need lust. But when we are ruled by it, when you are ruled by lust, you don't respect yourself because you respect lust more than you respect yourself. You're almost over giving devotion to said thing to the point where you over adapt and you under autonomize yourself because lust keeps consuming more and more and more. She never gets enough. She can never get enough. Okay, you need to understand what's going on here is that you must be able to tell yourself that you are going to do something and lust go to the back seat for that. When you tell yourself that you have something that you need to do, you cannot trust yourself. How you build up trust in yourself and what becomes the end of worry. Mercury and Taurus. What becomes the end of worry is when in repetition, we tell ourselves what we will do and we provide a foundation of reality for what we said we were going to do for ourselves. Literally, this is basic psychological functioning. When you tell your brain that you are going to do a thing and then you do it, you build trust in yourself because you become reliant upon yourself. You know you can depend on yourself. And what is happening here is that the force of lust is there to continually keep someone alive enough to keep having a tower moment that will never end because they cannot put lust to the back seat and step out of the tower, which is freedom from prison and all that it entails. That's what this is. It is freedom from prison and all that it entails. Escape from prison and all that it entails. So I know you're following me because I'm being very clear. There's something going on where this is the case. And it's happening in a varying degree of ways for varying different people. Some people are affected like the way I'm affected, like this, in very subtle mercurial ways, almost all around me all the time. But I'm in a good way. Like I'm not, my house is super clean. I have very high standards for growth. I'm constantly observing. I'm very mercurial, so I'm constantly sifting through every little thing, right? But other people, this affects them in ways where, like, imagine you weren't like that. And you just let that build up and build up. And the thing you didn't tell yourself you were going to do just builds up more and more. And all you can trust is lust. That's a prison. You must get out of there. You must get out of there. Get out of there. Get out of that. I'm talking to myself right now because there is more that is growing. There's like a whole world that is building. I don't know. This is the card that and this is beautiful because this is the card that I associate with things being born that you have never comprehended. This is the card that I associate with that. Things being born, and also the Ace of Swords as well. These two cards are very, very good to express this. Things being born that you have never conceptualized, things happening in your life that you have never trajectoried out, you have never projected, you have never thought that that would happen, and then there you are, you found yourself in a novel experience. These two cards are probably the two cards most associated with the novel experience. Also the Fool. Okay, so this is what I'm saying, is that there's a novel experience beyond such strong energies here, such very strong corralling, like confining. And I know these things give us freedom, but looking, this does not give you freedom. This right here is a confining presence of energy in one's life, and it is stressful because we keep not being able to step into the novel. We keep enjoying lust too much to step into the novel experience in little tiny subtle ways, like in the subtlest little ways. Like for me, right, like y'all think I got my life together and I'm a good girl, right? I do this too. There are things that I'm not doing for me in little tiny ways, so the novel experience can't begin. And don't you think I feel that right now? I'm feeling it. Let the novel experience begin. For some of you, this can't happen all at once. Like for me, this cannot happen in major ways. Like for instance, like me accepting a relationship and just going, okay, I'm going to let that person do whatever. That's a novel experience. Let it begin. Like that's not the way that a novel experience needs to begin for me. It can't happen in every area all at once. I don't know why this is so important to say like this. This can't happen in every area all at once. You have to allow novel things to happen a little bit at a time. Okay. You have to allow that to happen a little bit at a time. Because that's all that can be, that's all that you have capacity for actually at the moment. Okay. That's such a heavy energy for me. Like that, this is a very heavy area. Let's move into this and see what I have to say about this. Let me get a sip of coffee. I hope anybody watches this. I really appreciate you guys being here for my readings and stuff. I think the most views I've ever had is like 16 views, but that's going to change really soon. It's going to change soon. I used to do readings a few years ago, and I think some of them almost got up to 1,000, but I deleted those. And, you know, had I left them up, my algorithm would probably be in better shape. Don't you love this mug? Matter, mother, periodic table of the elements, the mother of all things, right? Very Babylon coded. Matter. So let us get back. Tap in here. There's something going on that I'm getting with these two that's like, wands complement discs, right? Wands complement swords and discs. So there's something happy happening here for me with these two. These complement each other so well. Again, with the fire and the earth. You have the fire and the earth again coming in harmony here. There's fire and earth over here too. But it's like too much. Like it only goes one way with this. It's what's the word for this? It's oppression. I'm telling you, I'm surprised oppression has not come up. Maybe I'm reading it a little too intensely, you know, like, but this feels like it only goes one way. It's very specific. It's literally that lust is the thing keeping the prisoner alive. And that's what I mean. It's like you're being kept in a space of grace in your pre-awakened state, or in your I say pre-awakened in regards to the tower, and not in regards to anything else other than just what this card symbolizes. Okay. So like in your pre-awakened state, right? I'm still reading these. I know I'm still reading these, like low key. You're being held in a space of grace right now, but that's why everything's uncomfortable, because you have to learn how to keep improving. You got to get out of the prison completely. You're almost there. You're almost there. Lust is the thing that is keeping you alive enough to fucking pull these shackles off of you. And it's rugged. It doesn't feel like that. That is rugged. That's a stressful, worrisome energy. You see, I feel it. That's what's keeping you on edge. That's what's keeping you from feeling harmonious peace. We've got to slow down and really focus in on these moments of presence where we can choose to do something novel instead of repressing ourselves. Do you hear me? I'll say it again. We have to focus in on these moments where we choose something novel instead of repressing ourselves. Choose something novel. I encourage you deeply. This is the time. The time is now. I don't normally give a message like this. This is what I'm trying to say. There's something going on where it's very important to choose the novel path, because the other path is absolutely desiccated with desecrated. It's fucked up. Okay. It's hard to get out of there. It's so hard. Like, don't y'all understand? Like, I read these cards in so many different ways. Like, I read them biblically, I read them intuitively, I read them through a thelemic eye, I read them through, it's so, that Death Grip song, it's such a long way down. Like, it's such a fucking long way down, dude. Don't stop. Pull yourself out of it and come to the novel experience. Like, stop doing the same things. I know it feels comfortable. I know that feels comfy, but you're not, you're halfway there. You got a long way to go. The worst thing is to call something satisfactory when it is not. That's actually worse of a sin than to be discontent with something. Ashe. All right. Now, that is what I have to say about that. There's something going on here with this harmony of these two. There's a Prince of Wands and a Princess of This is so wonderful. This is the novel experience, the breath, the one that holds the sun, the novel experience. But it's like the support is there, the physical energy is there, the motivation, the drive, the aliveness is so there. It's way there. So exactly, do you see how much simpler these energies are than these energies over here? I'm just saying. When things get sticky like this over here, keep it simple. Focus on what makes you feel alive and connected to God. Simplify your life. Simplify it. There's a union here. There's about to be a birth. There's about to be a creation. These two are creating. These two right here are fucking creators. There's something novel going to be created. There's something on the way. There's something on the way with her. There's something on the way. There's something novel going to be created. And I need you to be ready. You might not be super ready, but I don't need you to be unprepared. How about that? Let's put it that way. I don't need you to be ready, but I don't need you to be unprepared. Okay? I don't want you to be unprepared because this is going to be good, whatever it is. I would say that there's something going on with this lust cycle, this addiction cycle. It's minor in some people's lives, it's major in others. Some people have a strong connection to what they're addicted to. Other people have small little addictions. Like for instance, some people just drink like all fucking day and it's really bad for them. Other people like me, they smoke weed and they doom scroll on their phone. They hanging out with a partner who they know isn't really the best for them, but they're doing it anyway. See, those are types of behaviors where we're doing things that really aren't aligned with what we actually want, and we may not even realize it until after. And we've all found ourselves there, right? We've all been there. And that's what this is about. This right here, the center, is about you being aware. And this is I'm sorry, I've gotten chills. Like this is one of the most beautiful pieces of art I've ever seen in my life. This is the person who is aware in the moment. They are so aware of what is happening, and they are acting in creation of what they are aware of. That is all I need you to do. That's all you need to do. Be aware and act in response to the awareness that you have. This is an image of that, and a rainbow and a fucking fiery chalice is created when you do such things. There's pure alchemical magic that is born. Things are created that are completely novel. This card has an air of novelty too, and it's right there in the cup. That's this is this. Her disc might as well be right there in the cup. This golden light might as well be right there in the cup. This wand is him. Stir. That's this wand that's being used to stir. That's him. That's his wand. It's all there. It's all there. Let's move to the bottom row. There's also like with this, there's a big like spring emergence, like coming out of hibernation energy. I just want to drop that in. It's a big coming out of hibernation feeling that's going on. Coming out of hibernation. So, when a bear is coming out of hibernation, there's like boogers all over his eyes. He's probably like, I don't know. I think they poo a little bit while they sleep. I don't know. What if they do that? That's what I'm trying to say. Like when you're in hibernation, you're kind of like in stasis for a while. You let it go by the wayside. And then when you come out of hibernation, it's like raw power. It's tamas, right? The three principles in Ayurveda, Sattva, Rajas, and Tamas. It's tamas. It's pure rest, right? And that's what I'm getting from this area over here. And I'm getting that there's lust cutting through that pure rest. There's rajas cutting through the tamas, right? And it's like, it's the only thing keeping you going, but that's not balance. What's balance is sattva. That's what what I'm trying to say? Like, what's the point of doing all this if you never get to sattva? Why are you still stuck in why are you still letting yourself hurt yourself sometimes? Try not to do that. That's all I have to say. That's not a big message here. You're hurting yourself, but like, don't even get close. Don't let yourself hurt yourself. Take care of yourself. Okay. So right here, cards 6, 10, and 14 assist the querent in making whatever decision may be necessary. They indicate the psychological basis and implications of the issue. These show forces operating beyond the querent's control, destiny or karma to which the querent can adapt. In this sense, they can constitute advice. So I always say, like, this is what you can do something about, and this is what you really can't do something about. This is what you got to kind of adapt to, and this is what's adapting to you, essentially, right? So, okay, so here we go with the hurting yourself a little bit. I'll open this up. Excellent. Oh, great. I told you when this came out, I said we really need to see a 6 of Swords because this is, okay, super big, super amazing reading, y'all. I mean, this is like, this is, whew. Wow. Okay. This is just a lot. It's always so good. I haven't done one in a while, and the message is just so beautiful here today. Adjustment, ruin, and the 10, or in the 9 of Cups, excuse me. 10 of Cups, 9 of Cups, 10 of Swords, and the adjustment. Very, very aware of one turning in on oneself. So there's a very high level of awareness, a scrutiny. There's a scrutiny of being aware of turning in on oneself when the mind attacks itself, when the mind has gotten so, you're at the end of thought. Do you understand me? And everybody's got to go there at some point. You're at the end of thought. The mind is attacking itself. This is like the opposite of the Fool almost. It's like, this is just like so dominated with a narrative that it can't hear anything new. And there's a clear anchor to this going, nope, I'm not going to do that. There's a clear anchor to this going, nope, we are not going to do that. And you're happy. It's weird. It's weird. Readings are always kind of for me. I've been happy. I've been happier lately, like this last week. I don't really know what it is. I don't know who's praying for me. I don't know who's healing from the things we went through together or whatever the fuck is going on. Maybe it's just spring. But I've been feeling happier. And I've been feeling less afraid. I'm about to cry, y'all. I've been feeling more confident. And I've been feeling less afraid to just be myself. And like, that's big for me. And I'm feeling this here. I'm feeling this like somebody's just feeling a very clear anchor to some dark emotions, and they're refusing to go there. And in fact, that's giving them a happiness that, this is giving you a happiness that, again, it was so powerful to me just now that it brought me to tears. It gives you a happiness that you can literally touch, and it shakes you to the core, because this is so intense. She's standing between these two things and going, and it's so intense for you. This is very intense. So be gentle with yourself right now and slow down and calm down, like stay calm, because what you're going through right now is really kind of intense. This is intense. You're anchored to an extremely intense pain that you won't accept, and you're choosing to be happy. That takes, and see how they're blindfolded. It's like almost like perfect. Like this is a perfect symbol for that. Like you're blindfolding yourself to this. You don't have to see this to know that you feel this. You don't have to see the ruin to know that you feel the happiness anymore. You feel the happiness, and you know the ruin is there. You know that it was there, but you're so, with the adjustment and the happiness the way it is, and the ruin being, it's like you're keeping this under wraps. It would be one thing if it was like read like this, right? Then this would be dominating, but this is covered. You're covered. You're connected. You're balanced. Even though these are very polar energies, they're balanced. So that brings us to the Fated cards, which I think are just fucking perfect for what's going on. I mean, you have the completion. Venus and Aries is one of my favorite cards ever. And then another like Venus, like, you know, another Aries card here. Mars, Aries vibe. And it's just, this is it. You're taking control, and you're able to pull what the advice is, what the fate is that you zoom out from where you're at, you get a perspective that is more bird's eye view. You realize that you are at a strong point in completion of a cycle. There's something in my book here that I always forget to say about this card, so I'm going to look it up because by the way, I want you guys to check this out. So this card here, I have my special book that I use. This is the Thoth Tarot by Scott D. Miller. I highly recommend it. You can buy it on fucking crappy Amazon or somewhere else I'm sure you could buy. But I'm going to read to you, or I'm going to show you this, because in this book, the page is 156, Babylon's number. And this is the Venus and Aries. So for me, because of this book, I always kind of associate this card with Babylon, Venus and Aries. Anyway, so there's something about this that I need to tell you, and it's in this book. It's a very important piece of advice that's in here. Knowledge brings conclusions, past efforts, rewards. The heart pushes forth and seeks the development of the beautiful in new directions. This is perfect for our reading. The fulfillment of earlier hopes, ideas, and dreams. The balance aspect, combined with the overall morality of wands, brings us to think about injustice being resolved, inequity acknowledged and set right. Tensions in relationships can work positively when the individuality of each partner is recognized and respected. Something beautiful is making its way into your relationships. You've built a strong foundation. A successful completion of the task is in sight. Keep the momentum going by taking one step at a time, and you'll achieve the goal. Favorable completion will give you the confidence to further develop the undertaking in question. Acknowledge and celebrate your achievements. At this moment, you may be caught in conflict, wanting to move ahead, but feeling trapped at the same time. Stop dragging your feet. It is crucial to finish what you start. To regain momentum, begin by taking one step at a time. That reminds me of, oh gosh, this is it. Oh God, okay. This reminds me of the saying about the rosary, that if you started over from the first bead every time you got distracted from your rosary, you would never finish it. It is very important that we finish what we start, that we remember what we started, that we get back to the thing that we tried to do. That earlier things can be completed, that earlier things that we set to do a while back are checked off of the list, so that there is new and open space in our mind and in our life for the novel to begin. And when we have all this in the way, we can't, the wheel, this is a wheel, the wheel can't move, right? This is beautiful too, reminds me of this, the wheel. So the wheel is here, and the red wheel, you see, it's the same wheel. Question established conditions in relationships. Beware on guard for unreliable outcomes and overzealous action. Be tactful and gentle. The inner and more complex matter that this card rules is that of the establishment of right order. When things are balanced in life, they flow more easily. When apparently contradictory forces come into equilibrium, the powers inherent in each is available to be utilized to their fullest degree. So what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Remember that? And you remember this with the lust? When apparently contradictory forces come into equilibrium, the powers inherent in each is available to be utilized to the fullest degree. I will say it again. When apparently contradictory forces come into equilibrium, the powers inherent in each is available to be utilized to the highest degree. So what the issue is, and I'm going to give you a little speech for this in this moment. We're having trouble stepping into the thing that is the opposite. Not a lot of trouble with it. We're doing it. It's there's a little bit of it. It's this. This is distracting us from the ability to be able to step into the opposite and realize that that's what we're doing, so that we can feel the magic happening in real time. And by that, I'm going to give a very simple example of exercise. Okay. When we are in this, we don't want to exercise. And when we exercise, we are hurting and we are pushing and we are making ourselves get up from the place of stasis. That is uncomfortable, but that brings good luck. Why does discomfort bring good luck? Because we're Thelemites. Don't you understand? Right. It's the Tao, homie. Do you understand the Tao? It's actually good luck to do nothing. It's actually good luck to be completely still and to be frugal. It's actually good luck those things attract good luck. You understand? I mean, good luck in like Chinese medicine terms of good luck. That's what I'm talking about. It brings you luck. It brings you favor. Jupiter expands on the thing, right? So that's what I'm getting at here, is that by you doing the things that you don't feel like doing, it's like your awareness keeps shifting away from realizing how powerful that is. Your awareness, because of the lust and the tower, which are comfortable things for you, and the worry, which is also a comfort. Worrying about things is comfortable for us because we like to just like think we like to think that we're getting something done by worrying about it because we do care. But unless you actually put the fucking fire and the earth together and put it out into the physical world with the earth and the fire at the same time, then you're just water and air. Like, you're just thinking and feeling about things and you're not actually doing it. You're not actually acting on it. Okay. So the awareness keeps, it's not that it keeps forgetting, it's that it's already set at a predetermined point. It's that it's already at a predetermined position where it did not realize, the awareness probably does not realize. This is part of training the psyche. This is part of training the consciousness to do the great work. Okay, this is the great work. This is what my talks are always about. So what we're dealing with in the great work here is literally realizing that the psyche was preset. It was predetermined to be in a state of ruin. It was predetermined to be in a state of ignorance. It was predetermined to be in a state of confusion. And then we also went through the traumas of life. Okay. And you see how that all compounds. So what's going on with that is that the awareness keeps kind of trying its best to go, oh yeah, I remember when I do the uncomfortable thing that I don't like to do. Right here with the raven and I don't know if you can see, but if you see the raven and the skull on the cup, when I do the uncomfortable thing that I don't like to do, I'm alchemizing my fucking good luck. When I do the frugal thing, when I do the sober thing, when I do the hard thing, when I do the thing that causes me to think it's tedious, when I do the thing, when I'm self-slain, when I become self-slain, by doing the thing, I am making good luck. I am gaining favor. I am becoming the crowned and conquering. I am turning the wheel of Dharma, right? And the wheel of karma. And so that is what the mind is having, not trouble, but it is very intensely adjusting at this time to going, oh yeah, this is uncomfortable, but this is good. This is uncomfortable, but this is good luck. This is uncomfortable, but I'm getting out of the tower. This is uncomfortable, but I'm escaping from prison. This is uncomfortable, but I'm climbing out of here. This is uncomfortable, but I'm doing this. And that's really good. You just have to keep remembering that. Like, you remember that when you don't feel like starting, this is the thing that I always get, when I don't feel like starting to paint or do my project, that's the moment of truth. When you wake up and you don't feel like starting anything, that is the moment of truth. That is the test. That's the moment, right? We have to be able to know that that's good luck to go, oh, I don't feel like doing anything. Fuck, all right, I'm uncomfortable right now. This actually hurts. I'm suffering right now. And I'm going to tell you why this is so good. Look at this cross. Look at the rosy cross. We don't suffer for ourselves. We suffer for God. When you know that when your suffering is for God, and when you're doing the discomfort and the uncomfortable action, and that you're being touched by God in that moment, when you know that that's the presence of God creating good luck for you in that moment, you're bearing the rosy cross. You're doing your thing. You're doing the great work. Well, you're probably getting aligned to doing it if you're not doing it in those moments. We don't suffer. This is not our home here on earth. We are tourists or pilgrims here on earth. Are you a pilgrim or are you a tourist? I'm a pilgrim myself. Crowley was a pilgrim. Prophets are pilgrims, right? And a pilgrim is just lucky to make it to the destination. So I need you to understand, like, Jesus was a pilgrim, right? Totally. So I need you to understand this, like, that you engaging in that moment where it doesn't feel like you want to do it is your pilgrimhood. That's you being a pilgrim. And it's funny because you're actually not. You're the emperor in that moment, right? You're not just a pilgrim in that moment. You're that's the moment where you're the emperor. That's the moment where you're the king. It's the moment of truth. So you've got to zoom out. You've got to zoom out and see things happening the way that they really are happening. Everywhere. And it's happening in every little aspect of your life. And it for, like I said, for whoever's watching, it could be in varying different degrees. It could be in varying different ways. For some people, this is going to be big things that are kind of ruining their life. And for other people, it's going to be things that are like, they're really focused, that they know they're working on. And it's little things around them all the time that they're like trying to improve about energetically. It depends on where you're at in the journey. Like, the emperor can do what he knows he's doing because he's suffering for God. That's what the lamb represents. That's literally what the lamb represents. He knows that he's suffering for the divine, so his actions are in confidence. It's not about him. It's about the work. And through the work, it becomes about him. Through the work, then he can be a person who can be seen as a king, right? We are, this is, I think, the message that's coming through. Like, we are our achievements. We are our will. We are our great work. That's who we are. That's our incarnation. That's what we do. And with the two-headed eagle down there on that shield, you must remember that we're either moving away from death or we're moving toward it. It's absolutely true. We're either moving away from death or we're moving toward it. And if you're not aware that you have the eternal life, if you don't know that you have eternal life, like, that's what I'm trying to say. The emperor knows that he has eternal life. So he doesn't mind starting when he's uncomfortable. He doesn't mind starting when he doesn't feel like it, because he knows that he has eternal life. You have eternal life as well. And when you realize this, your sufferings are, you are bearing the rosy cross because all of your sufferings are sacred. Your sufferings are then alchemical. And you can bear it, you can bear that with dignity and honor and with strength. So we are what we do. You know, we are what we do. That's kind of the message that's coming through. We are what we do. So what you do becomes who you are. So if you don't like what you're doing, then change who you are. And if you don't like who you are, then change what you're doing. If you don't like the way your life looks, change what you're doing. Change what you're doing. Keep changing. Don't change too fast, but make sure you keep on it. Don't get lazy. It's not the time to drag your feet. Okay, so my friend's here to pick me up, so I gotta go. Thank you all. I'll see you later. Sorry I can't do a closing prayer. Bye. Thank you.